Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of the FA Cup third round between Tottenham Hotspur and Burnley. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and before we go any further, let's go through the starting lineups of both teams. Starting with Spurs, we have Vicario in goal. Then it's Pedro Porro, Emerson Royale, Ben Davis, and Destiny Odogi in defence. Rodrigo Bentancur and Oliver Skipp make up the midfield. Rodrigo Bentancur is the captain. Then it's Brennan Johnson, Giovanni Lo Celso, and Dejan Kulusevski, the front three. Flanking Richarlison, the lone striker. As for Burnley, it's Arijanet Muric in goal. Then it's and in defence we have Coutinho, Dara O'Shea, Hannes Delacroix, and Charlie Taylor. The midfielders are Anas Zaroury, Aaron Ramsey, Josh Cullen, and Wilson Odobert. The two forwards, Lyle Foster and Zeki Amdouni. And Spurs hope to start 2024 with a win at home to go with their last four in their last 5 matches. Currently P5 in the Premier League table, only 1 point behind Arsenal and 6 behind leaders Liverpool. Mathematically still in with a chance of the title. As for Burnley, their performances this season have been very poor, to put it mildly, with a poor defence leading to conceding so many goals, 41 in the league and 19th in the table. Well, I'm glad to have alongside me Luke Turton. Luke, good evening. How do you see this game going tonight? Do you think this will be an easy win for Spurs?
Yeah, good evening, Nick. I personally think that the game will be probably very heavily slanted towards Spurs if you go on the league form, because Spurs are in 5th in the table. They've been looking pretty prolific up top. They've probably struggled a little bit at the back with the loss to Van de Ven and Romero, but Burnley at the bottom have been conceding goals like they're going out of fashion. So yeah, I can probably see it's only going one way, to be fair.
I wouldn't actually be surprised if Spurs win this one. Burnley haven't won away to Spurs since 1983, when they faced each other in the EFL Cup quarter-final. The last time these two played was on September the 2nd. Tottenham won 5-2. As well as Romero, Maddison, Solomon, and Perisic are also out with injury, as are Whiteman and Veliz. So the injuries to several players could well be a disadvantage for Tottenham, and Tottenham could also be a disadvantage because their regular captain Son is on international duty with South Korea, and Sarr and Bissouma are also absent due to their international commitments in the Africa Cup of Nations with Senegal and Mali. The game is taking place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, a very grand location it is too, and we are some 5 minutes away from kickoff. Burnley haven't won a game since December the 23rd, when they last won away to Fulham. Amdouni, Foster, and Odobert are the top scorers with 4 each, and I was commenting earlier on their poor defence, conceding 41 league goals. Will the cup be something of a temporary distraction for Burnley given their ongoing Premier League woes?
Potentially, Nick, but I think it's going to take a lot to transform the back line of Burnley into something of a steady ship, because at the minute they ain't looking likely to stop the rot at the back. So time will tell, but I think Spurs may just have enough in this one.
The players now have now left the changing rooms. They're about to emerge from the tunnel. Burnley wearing their claret and sky blue uniform. Tottenham will be wearing all white, as both sets of captains get ready to emerge from the tunnel. Our match officials tonight, starting with the referee, Sam Barrett will be the man in the middle. He has refereed 22 matches so far, the majority in the Championship, and he is only 30 years old. Quite young for a referee, in my opinion. Ange Postecoglou, sharing temporary applause with the fans as the players await the signal from the referees to leave the tunnel. Our assistant referees are Neil Davis and Mark Scholes. Josh Brooks is the fourth official, and on VAR is Christopher Kavanagh, and his assistant is Darren Bond, and the additional VAR is Stuart Burt. And we've been saying this throughout our recent games. We just hope against hope that we have no VAR tonight, given the controversy it has caused in recent weeks. And the players now start to emerge from the tunnel onto the pitch. And we will let you know very shortly who the Burnley captain is. It might be Del Qua, but we will confirm. Luke, despite the controversy that VAR has gone through, do you think there may well be one tonight?
Every chance, Nick, because there seems to be one in nearly every game, so I don't see why this one would be any different.
Right, so before we kick off, just time to quickly update the scores from the other FA Cup matches that are happening tonight. Fulham are 1-0 up against Rotherham United. Bobby tackled over Reed in the 24th minute, and Brentford currently lead 1-0 to Wolves as they are approaching half-time. Neil Maupay in the 41st minute, and the task has been made considerably easier for the Bees as João Gomez was sent off in the 9th minute. I'd have to, you were saying earlier that Richarlison and Johnson could be the two to stand out for. Spurs. Who do you reckon could be standing up for Burnley, despite their lackluster defence?
Well, it could be Lyle Foster and Zeki Amdouni for me, but we'll have to see if they can switch it on tonight.
What's definitely switched on is the electric atmosphere inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The fans applauding the players as their names are being read out across the ground. And I for one actually like this ground because of the colours and lights that it displays. But given that this stadium is used for other sports and additional other things, the ground The ground it could be an issue, but let's hope there's none of those tonight. And we'll just take a look, and we'll now just read through some of our other comments. Paul says, "Good luck, guys. I have a doctor's appointment, so I can't listen for long. Just want to check in and say hi." Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says, "Hi, Nicholas and Luke. Hopefully we'll get an exciting night of action." And James Somergill says, "Good evening, Nicholas and Luke." And also gives a shout out to JB, who I hope will be listening as well. So a 4-2-3-1 formation for Spurs, and 4-4-2 for Burnley. Josh Cullen is the captain tonight. So I got my earlier call on Hannes Del Cra wrong. So it's great to have Josh Cullen. So it's great to have Josh Cullen back. So it's great to have Josh Cullen playing for Burnley after missing the last game against Aston Villa. Berge sent off in the last match, coincidentally, and is suspended. But the game kicks off, and away we go at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the FA Cup third round between Spurs and Burnley, and it's Burnley with the ball straight away. That was by Ramsey. Although it's just been given back to Spurs now, and Burnley straight away were looking to make a break for it. No, they were just passing to their goalkeeper, and the ball has now been passed to Cullen. Cullen passes back to Muric, and Muric has now found Ramsey. Ball caught by Spurs, tries to go down towards Bentancur. Bentancur with the ball. Good teamwork by Spurs, and straight to Vicario. Vicario now passing to, I think that was Ben Davis. Yes, it was Ben Davis, the Wales international. Davis to Udogi. Now back down the wing to Davis. Davis was, I think, looking for Bentancur, but Bentancur to quickly pass back to Davis, and Davis quickly passing once again to, I think that was Emerson Royale, and a Spurs player went down. I think that was Udogi. But Luke, Burnley pressurising them so early on in the game.
Yeah, decent press so far from Burnley. Spurs just about getting themselves into this now, but great early press from Burnley.
That may well be the only press they have. That may well be the only press they give Tottenham this evening. As Spurs, once they get started, they're on a roll. It's Udogi back down the wing to Davis. Now Davis quickly passing to, I think that was Lo Celso. Yes, it was Lo Celso. Back towards Davis. Now Udogi. Nice cross up front to Kulusevski. Kulusevski tries to find someone inside the 18-yard box, but I think was defended really well. Although Spurs now back on the attack, and the player's brought down. The referee isn't interested, and down goes Brennan Johnson. But Burnley, I was wrong. They're defending. But Burnley, I was wrong. They're defending this one really well, and now they're about to make a break for it with Wilson Adobert. Quick pass to one of his teammates, and now back towards Adobert. Adobert has the ball given to, I think that was Zurari, but well held by Spurs. And the earlier incident in the Spurs and the earlier incident in the other 18-yard box. Should Spurs have been given a penalty?
No, I'm not so sure. I think Johnson was a bit too weak on going down there, so it wasn't for me.
Yeah, but I was also referring to the Destiny Udogi incident. Do you think that should have resulted in a penalty as well?
No, I've just seen that one. I think there's not enough in that for me either.
Yes, Derek also comments saying, should be a good one. Hard to see Burnley taking this one, but this is the FA Cup. And Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming totally agrees with him as well. As Burnley looks to try and regain control, but Spurs, good defending by Emerson Royale by the looks of it. Although Davis have received the ball back through, and Burnley Burnley have taken the ball. They need to take advantage of that through Lyle Foster. Foster to Zarari. Well held by Udogie. And Vincent Kompany shouting his instructions from the touchline. But if luck had been against Spurs, things could well have been different. Spurs though looked like they were on the attack, but Muric got the ball well before Spurs got there. But now the ball goes towards Lyle Foster. He's alive with Davis, and the referee blows his whistle. That looked very rough and unnecessary by Foster on Davis. How do you call this one, Luke?
I think Ben Davis knew what he was doing there. He basically saw Lyle Foster coming and made sure that he got the touch to go down. I don't think it was that rough, in my opinion.
So a bit of tactical play by Ben Davis, it seems, as Vicario clears the ball up front to Brennan Johnson. Johnson now inside the 18-yard box, has to go around the Spurs defenders. He goes down. Free kick, I think, says the referee, or is it a corner? No, it's a corner. Johnson should I think have passed to Richarlison, and that would have been the opening goal for Spurs. How do you see this?
Yeah, probably get the crossover a bit earlier. It took far too long on that one.
Corner to Spurs after 5.5 minutes. Pedro Porro to take the corner. He swings it into the box, but Johnson couldn't get to it in time. And after almost 6 minutes, it's still Spurs 0, Burnley 0, and we can now it's half time between Brentford. It's half time between Brentford and Wolves. Fulham still lead Rotherham by 1-0. Muric clears the ball out of goal for Burnley. But intercepted by Dejan Kulusevski for Spurs, the Sweden international. Throwing conceded though to Burnley. What can this Burnley player do with the throwing? He throws to I think that was Foster, but punched away by Vicario. That's I think the closest Burnley have come to scoring, and that was by Adobert. Good use of his foot, but a well-timed save by Vicario.
Vicario had to be quick to get down to that one, because otherwise Adobert would have been able to score from that position.
Thrown by Coutinho for Burnley. Ball goes as far as Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey passes to Coutinho. And Coutinho now finds Delcroix. Delcroix, a quick pass to Ramsey, but the ball goes to Muric. I think that was to try and confuse Spurs, but whatever tactic it was, it didn't work, and Spurs were easily able to recover from that one. It's currently Tottenham with the ball. Goes as far as Johnson. Unlucky not to score a couple of minutes ago. He could try and do so again. He passes to Richarlison, but defended by Burnley. Spurs are back on the attack though, and a foul. I think that was a foul on Anas Zaroury, and I'd like to have your thoughts on that one, Luke.
Yeah, he just lent into Zaroury there, and a bit cynical. Really didn't need to do that.
Expressionless look on Ange Postecoglou's face, not as animated as Vincent Kompany. Muric clears the ball out of the goal towards Adobert. Adobert, good pass around, passing the ball around to the fence. Doing well to hold off Richarlison at the minute. But Ben Davis quickly goes for the ball. And did well to pass to Vicario, and he was on the lookout for Lyle Foster. So it's Davis still with the ball. After almost 9 minutes, it's still Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Luke Turson. We'd also like to thank our broadcasting partners, JB Sports and Focus on Football and Storm FM. As Richarlison has the ball, he's into the 18-yard box, but he's missed the goal by inches. I think he might have been fouled from behind. We'll just take a look at this one again, and it was indeed by one of the defenders. It was Hannes Delacroix. If Delacroix hadn't been there, could Richarlison have scored?
I think you've got to give credit to Delacroix there because he just gets back into position just at the right time, which unnerves Richarlison.
It certainly would have unnerved him, and which is why it still remains Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. It's Johnson with the ball with the 18-yard box, saved by Nuric. And I have to say, Burnley are holding out really well against Tottenham so far. But
yeah, that's.
Sorry, Luke. I thought there was going to be another attack at goal, but it wasn't. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, that was probably the closest chance of the game, and brilliant save from Muric there, but also a brilliant shot from Johnson to try and go across goal.
Udogie to Davis. Now the ball has been picked up. I think that was Bentancur. Now back down towards Davis. Davis to Richarlison. And it's Richarlison crossing into the 18-yard box. I think that was missed by Udogie. Now the ball goes as far as Emerson Royale. So it's Royale once again. Back down the wing to Davis. We're now at just 11 minutes in. Davis passes back to Udogie, and the ball now goes up front to. I think that was Kulusevski, or was that Lo Celso? It's Davis once more. Davis now Royale. Spurs trying to break through the Burnley defences. They breached through them, but they haven't broken them. It's Davis once more for Tottenham. Now Johnson straight past to Richarlison. Now Udogie. It's Udogie in the 18-yard box, but kept out by Burnley. Now it's with Lo Celso. Lo Celso tried to find an opening, but the ball was deflected away by Burnley. It was as far as Lo Celso. So it's Lo Celso who would just receive the ball from the defenders. Emerson Royale. And the ball now being crossed up front to Richarlison, but Richarlison misses by a couple of yards. Very unlucky for the Spurs number 9 not to get the ball in time, but a well-timed save by Muric, who clears the ball out of the goal. Headed by Emerson Royale. Now the ball is with Giovanni Lo Celso. Lo Celso, nice pass to Johnson. Johnson was looking for Kulusevski. I think Lo Celso could well have taken the ball on his own, Luke.
Yeah, I think the pass needs to be a bit better if it's going to Johnson there and play it in front of him instead of playing it directly at him, because there wasn't much running space after that to really do anything with the ball.
Very quickly taken by Burnley via Vitinho, but Spurs, but Tottenham have quickly taken the ball back. The ball is now with Ben Davis. It's Davis with the ball. I think that was a quick pass to Johnson. Now Johnson to Udogie. Udogie was looking for Johnson again. It's Johnson with the ball. That was via Lo Celso. Lo Celso to Bentancur. Now towards Richarlison, I think that was. Headed by Johnson, saved by Muric. Again, Tottenham were knocking on the door, but Muric reacted just in time.
Yeah, the trouble is with that one, Johnson headed it straight at Muric, so it was easy for him to extend upwards and just catch that one. He had to go either side, and that would have been a goal.
It seems like it certainly was. Fulham against Rotherham is edging ever closer to half time. It's still 1-0 there, and something I've missed just now. That was almost an opportunity at goal by Richarlison. Yet Muric was able to hold that one. So Muric.
Yeah, it was too tame, that shot from Richarlison there.
Very tame indeed. Now the ball goes as far as Vicario in the opposite end. It's now with Davis. Davis passing the ball around up the defence. I think that was by Pedro Porro and Udogie. The ball now being crossed forward now to Brennan Johnson. Crossing, but saved again. But saved again by Muric. What deuce? Burnley are holding really well against Spurs. I didn't really think they'd be able to hold out for this long.
No, they've been impressive so far, taking the battle to Spurs. I've been impressed.
Well, so we should be, as Spurs now look set to. The Spurs were looking to make another attack. One of the players was clipped. So I think that might have been Udogie, but the ball is now currently with Lo Celso. Just over 16 minutes gone. It's still Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. It's Davis, and a round of applause across the stadiums for someone named Harry, who was recently part of a ninth prime, and there was the hashtag end ninth prime. But back to the here and now, as it's Davis. It's passing straight to Giovanni, passing straight back to Lo Celso. Lo Celso towards Davis once more. Now Emerson Royale. Back down the wing to Davis. Quick pass to Brennan Johnson. And it's Johnson to Bentancur. Bentancur was looking for Kulusevski. Dejan Kulusevski towards Johnson. And blazed over by Lo Celso. That was really unnecessary by him. He shouldn't have been so aggressive.
There's great link-up play leading up to that chance, and then the Celso just got underneath it. Really should do better from that sort of position. In those sort of areas, you've got to take more care over your shots.
He certainly should take more care over his shots. Ball now goes to Richarlison. Spurs still in possession, but the ball's now been picked up by Arijanet Muric. So it's Muric with the ball. After 18 minutes, it still remains Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. As Burnley were looking to get on the attack through Josh Cullen or Zeki Amdouni, but well held by Spurs. Now goes as far as Pedro Porro. It's Porro passing to Emerson Royale. So it's Royale, but given away to Burnley momentarily. Now back with Spurs and Johnson. So it's Johnson to Udogie, but given away to O'Shea for Spurs. But given away to O'Shea for Burnley, I should say. And the ball now still going backwards and forwards between Tottenham and Burnley and the referee has called a halt to something which I did not see. Udogie might have been involved, but play quickly goes on, and the ball has now ended up. The ball did end up at the feet of Kulusevski, but a Burnley player went down in the process. How would you call that one, Luke?
Yeah, it's soft, but again, I think it's definitely a foul. There's been a few different niggly fouls around at the moment, so maybe the players need to be a little bit more careful how aggressive they are being.
Either that or the referee is being too lenient. Anyway, the ball is now currently with Adobert for Burnley. Ball now being quickly passed around. That was through Oliver Skip. I think it was Skip who went down, or in fact it was Pedro Porro, and that might have been via Cullen. Again, I did not see that one. Ben Davis passing up the wing quickly to Emerson Royale, although he was under pressure from, I think that was Amdouni. Ball now with Udogie. Udogie passes back to Davis, but Davis, or was that Bentancur? Bentancur, it was, and I think someone's going to go into the book. It's Josh Cullen. I think he got tangled up with Rodrigo Bentancur. No, in fact it was Lo Celso who we got tangled up with. Luke, was that worthy of a yellow card?
Yeah, I'd say that's worthy of a yellow card. It was a bad tackle. But I also thought that Rodrigo Bentancur's tackle afterwards was also worthy of a yellow card. So I'm surprised there wasn't two given there, because they were both nearly as dangerous tackles as each other.
I think the Bentancur tackle was the one I could spot. I think that might have been which was on Cullen. I think that might have been in retaliation. Anyway, free kick to Tottenham, and it will be the captain Rodrigo Bentancur that will take the free kick. But hold on, the referee. The referee is signalling for a free kick. I thought he was going to go to VAR, but the game goes ahead. 22 minutes in, still Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. Udogie to Davis. Davis quickly passing to Vicario. It's now half time between Fulham and Rotherham United. Brentford against Wolves, back underway, only a few minutes into the second half. And the throw-in to Burnley through Vitinho. Vitinho trying to pass the ball around to his teammates, was briefly intercepted by Tottenham, but Cullen now has the ball back for the Clarets. And now goes to O'Shea. And Muric, although Richarlison was lurking dangerously, this could cost Burnley, but this good form of defence certainly kept the ball out, and it will be a corner to Spurs. Remember they couldn't convert the first one into goal. Will they be lucky this time? Porro takes the ball into the 18-yard box, but saved by Muric but saved by Muric. No one hardly had any time to do anything. It was over all too quickly.
Yeah, it was a poor corner, to be honest, straight into the arms of Muric. There was no real opportunity for anybody to attack it. And when they pressed quite well to get the corner in the first place, they really should have worked a lot better at the corner and not just giving it straight back to Burnley.
Indeed, as it's Emerson Royale down the wing to Ben Davis. Davis gets a pass back to Royale, although I think hounding him was Anduni. It's Bentancur, but who was aiming for Kulusevski, but Kulusevski didn't react. But Kulusevski didn't react quickly in time. He should have gotten the ball. He should have gotten the ball when it was nearing. But it just went straight through his legs, from what I could ascertain. Anyway, Spurs have another chance. The ball now goes to Richarlison, but given away to Cullen, and it's a free kick to Burnley, and the foul by Kulusevski, on Cullen, rather rough and unnecessary.
Yeah, it was very rough, totally was unnecessary, but I think Muric needs to watch out on how long he's taking with these throws, because they're getting caught out.
I guess it's probably just a question of how long Burnley can hold out, as Spurs just keep threatening every time. Vincent Kompany should be satisfied with how the team is defending at the moment, as Coutinho throws to Lyle Foster. Now Amdouni. This could be a chance for Burnley. The ball is with Adobert, but given back to Spurs. I think that was went through via Charlie Taylor. Now Burnley need to have another chance at it, but it goes against them. I think that was, I couldn't see what the referee's decision was, but Burnley still have the ball. Burnley's attempts at goals are fewer. Burnley's attempts at goals are fewer than Spurs, I might say. Mike says hi, chaps. I hope you're both. Mike says hi, chaps. I hope you're both well. And it's still 1-0 currently between Brentford and Wolves. The second half between Fulham and Rotherham yet to get back going, and Burnley blaze it over the bar through Anduni. That was a really close attempt at goal by the Morocco international. Had he aimed a few inches lower, that could well have been the opening goal of the match.
That is an absolute sitter. It was right in front of goal, and if you could just have got it under control a little bit and not have leant back, you'd have probably have stared that into the net, but he got too far underneath it.
Yep, he certainly did. It's now Udogie for Tottenham. Now Lo Celso to Davis. He's looking for Richarlison, but intercepted by Burnley. Doing really well defensively, but given to Johnson. And Johnson now quick to pass to Emerson Royale. To Kulusevski, but it goes over the line. It goes over the line. It's a goal kick, and Derek echoes what we've been saying. Oddly, neither side looking like scoring at the moment, despite their efforts. It's Lyle Foster to, I couldn't see who it was. It might have been Amdouni. And so it's Amdouni to Ramsey. Now Taylor to O'Shea. Long pass down wing to Vitinho. Vitinho to Foster. Now back towards Vitinho. Although a Spurs player has gone down. I think that was Davis. Indeed it was. or was it Lo Celso? No, it might have actually been Lo Celso. As a Bentancur passes to Royale. Pass back towards Davis. Now it's Ramsey. Now a well-timed pass to Zaroury. But Zaroury was a long way from goal. This was the earlier foul between Lo Celso and Ramsey. Between Lo Celso and Ramsey, and Lo Celso taking a bit of time to recover from the incident. What's your summary on this one?
Yeah, I think he just got caught up underneath Ramsey when he was trying to move round, to be honest. It was a painful one, but I think the Celso will be okay.
Yep, seems like it should be. It was Cullen with the ball briefly for Burnley, but he's given it away to Lo Celso. You were right about saying how quick he was to recover. So it's Lo Celso to Kulusevski. Now Kulusevski had to pass back down towards Bentancur. The ball now being crossed into the 18-yard box. Johnson briefly touched the ball, but once again it just couldn't find the net. And Ange Postecoglou as expressionless as ever. Would Richard? How do you see this one? Should Richarlison have taken it?
I think Johnson was okay to take it, but I think they're just all rushing their shots currently. There's not enough care being taken over how long they're taking over each, whether it's pass or shot in the final third. It's all a bit rushed, and that's seeing balls being blazed over the bar instead of being on target.
Tottenham not being as aggressive as usual, it seems. As a throw-in now quickly given to Spurs. The ball now being passed out to that might have been Davis, but the ball is now with Emerson Royale passing to Vicaria. Vicaria now back out towards Davis. Now quickly was briefly retaken by Burnley. Now it's back with Spurs and Udogie quickly passes to Johnson, though Anas Zaroury was close by. Lo Celso to Davis. Now straight back to Vicario in goal. Now the ball has been passed to Emerson Royale. It's Royale passing to number 23, Pedro Porro. I think the ball was briefly with Kulusevski. It's Lo Celso once more. Does well to go around Ramsey. Good use of the feet there, but Burnley once again holding out in defence. It's Lo Celso. Pass to Kulusevski. Kulusevski to Udogie. And once again a foul just outside the 18-yard box, but the referee isn't interested. And the ball goes over the line. And the ball goes over the line for a Spurs throw in. So it's Udogie to Ben Davis. Davis quickly passes to Royale to skip. Now it's with Vicario to Davis. Davis passing to Brandon Johnson. Couldn't find. Johnson was, I think, trying to pass to Richarlison, couldn't get to him. But now the ball's been retaken by Burnley, and that was by Coutinho. But once again, their attack was smothered by Spurs. Emerson Royale down the wing to Bentancur. Bentancur goes well to pass to Brennan Johnson. And Johnson now on the attack inside the 18-yard box, but well caught by Burnley. Goes as far as Bentancur. And it actually was with Davis, now it's with Bentancur. Royale now back towards Bentancur. Bentancur to Kulusevski. It's Kulusevski back towards Bentancur. Now Udogie. Udogie to Johnson. Johnson was looking for Udogie, but defended really well by Burnley. And the game has just restarted in the second half between Fulham and Rotherham. Still 1-0 between both Brentford and Wolves, and also Fulham and Rotherham. So Muric to take the goal kick for Burnley, which he does. Ball is headed by Spurs though, and it was with Udogie. Now it's Bentancur. Bentancur almost fouling. Skip was almost fouled, but he did well. Skip was almost fouled, but he did well to hold on. The ball goes back to the ball goes back to Muric, and I have to say, Luke, after the entertaining opening part, things on the pitch, you'd have to say, appear to have fizzled out.
I think it's become more of a battle in the past 10 minutes, with players making fouls here, there and everywhere. But it's also interesting to watch the movements of Lo Celso and Udogie. Because Udogie's coming from left back into central midfield, and that allows everybody else to move across a little bit and get forward into different areas. Whereas I think with Burnley, they're very much in their shape, holding out and just trying to get through probably to half time at 0-0, and then really go for it in the second half against Spurs.
So the second half could well be where the teams go out all guns blazing, and a foul, and a foul recently occurred, and I think that was I think that might have been on Pedro Porro. Porro was clearly angry at this. That's another. But it's the throw in this time. It's a throw in this. That's thrown this time to Spurs. Being thrown to Porro. Now Skip. So the ball goes up. The ball goes over the line again, and Vincent and Vincent Company shouting his instructions from the touchline. The ball is with Bentancur, but it is over the line for a Spurs. Or should I say Burnley throw? To throw the ball. I think it was Charlie Taylor, headed by Zaruri, almost picked up by Cullen, but given straight back to Spurs. It's Ramsey to, I think that's Lyle Foster. Yes, indeed it is. It's Foster, but well tackled, but intercepted by Royale. Cleared out of goal by Vicario, and after just over 37.5 minutes, it's still Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. And Russ says, "Good evening, chaps. Just tuned in. Question for either of you: who's been the better side so far?" But for the majority, I'd probably say Spurs. Although Burnley have had their moments. And the same question for you, Luke. Who has been the better side in your view?
Yeah, I think Spurs have just edged it, but Burnley haven't been far off in this game. And to be honest, I've been impressed with their work ethic and their fight in this game to actually not go out with a whimper with this. They're really having a good go at things and making it a real battle for Spurs, winning fouls and trying to really go forward and not just sit back. So I've been very impressed, but yeah, I think Spurs probably just about edged this one so far.
Well, just as we were talking about this, Zaruri went down, and I think that was and I think that foul was committed by Rodrigo Bentancur. Did he step on his foot? It looked like he did.
Yeah, I think he just overstepped into his foot a little bit, and then the free kick there.
Yes, that's been quickly dealt with. It's a throw in to Spurs. Richarlison. Now Bentancur. Back towards Richarlison. Oliver Skip. I think was looking to pass to Kulusevski, but dealt with really well by Burnley. And it's for Porro to throw. He throws to Bentancur. Bentancur to Udogie. But another Burnley player has gone down. I couldn't see who fouled him. And it's now the ball is now with Davis. Davis to Emerson Royale. Royale passes to Vicario. Vicario now sending the ball forward towards Johnson, although Johnson unnecessarily brought down. The ball is now with Anas Zaruri. Zaruri concedes to Johnson, and Johnson has entered the 18-yard box, but cut out by O'Shea, and that will once again be a corner to Spurs. Great defending by O'Shea.
Yeah, it looks like the Burnley players are following Johnson around a little bit and making sure he can't get that killer ball across the box. But I also think that Johnson needs to be a little bit more skillful in trying to beat some of these Burnley players and not taking forever with the ball.
Corner quickly taken by Porro. Saved by Burnley. So it's true what they say. Bad luck comes in threes. 3 corners for Spurs. Nothing came of them. So it's Lo Celso crossing up the wing to Kulusevski. Kulusevski passes to Royale. Bentancur, and the ball has gone as far as I think that went as far as Coutinho, but new ball given to Arianic Muric with less than 5 minutes to go. Until half time. Still 1-0 between Brentford and Wolves, and also 1-0 between Fulham and Rotherham. Although just as I say that, Tommy Doyle has levelled against Brentford for Wolves in the 64th minute, and just on show, it's still 1-0 between Fulham and Rotherham as Davis, or should that be Johnson, passes the ball around for Tottenham. It's Vicario. Now the ball goes to Bentancur, the temporary captain. So Bentancur has passed to, I think that's to Lo Celso. Lo Celso back towards Bentancur. Now Royale. Davis, although he has to watch out for Lyle Foster. Good ball control by Davis. Richarlison almost had it, but was fouled, and thus Spurs were unable to take advantage. It's Udogie, Destiny Udogie, almost, and in fact he was fouled from behind by Vitinho, and the referee Sam Barrett isn't going to stand for this, and he awards Spurs a free kick. Should Vitinho have been booked?
No, I think it was just a silly tackle on Lo Celso there, but that really should be probably moving a bit quicker and getting the ball away in towards the box. But again, yeah, Vitinho was a little bit silly with that tackle.
Pedro Porro to take the free kick for Tottenham. Ball goes into the 18-yard box. Saved again by Muric. Burnley have done really well to hold out against Fulham throughout. I mean Tottenham throughout the first half, and it could well be a question of waiting until the second half to see the goals start coming in. And so it's Josh Cullen passing the ball around for Burnley, but it goes back to him. Now it's Zaroury and blazed over the crossbar. That shot was too powerful, and I think he was too far back.
Not smart there from Zaroury. He had other options on that he could have used that wasn't that one, and I think that one was a bit poor because he didn't get enough conviction on it and get over it.
Lyle Foster momentarily with the ball, but dealt with really well by Tottenham. We're now into the last 15 seconds of normal time. It's just a question of how many minutes will be added before half time. Lascelles though to I think that was somebody in midfield, but it's ended up with Richarlison. Now it's Kulusevski. 1 minute of added on time has been confirmed by the fourth official, and this gives teams not enough time to at least grab something to at least grab something going into half time. And the ball is currently with Pedro Porro towards Bentancur. Quickly passing down the wing to Brennan Johnson via Davis. Davis takes the ball back, and he quickly passes to Vicario. Now Emerson Royale quickly passes, and it's a long cross to Brennan Johnson, cut out by O'Shea, and there it goes. That's the whistle for half time. It looked action-packed in the early stages of the first half, and as Luke says, it turned more into a battle between the teams to keep the ball out of each other's goal. So half time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Burnley 0. We'll have the thoughts of Luke and myself sometime during the actual break. And in actual fact, you know what? We're going to do this right now. Luke summary of the first half. Summary of the first half. Do you think summary of the first half? Squandered chances for both sides, you might say.
Yeah, both sides have had chances in that first half, but they've not taken enough care over it, and they've been blazing balls over the bar, getting them these shots, rushing their chances a little bit. Whereas, to be fair, I think if they slowed down a little bit and use a bit more skill, they might be able to get ahead in this game. I've been very impressed with Burnley though, and their battling so far. They've not made it easy for Spurs, which is probably more than we're accustomed to in the Premier League.
Yes, indeed, and coming up tomorrow, we have live coverage of Sunderland. We have live coverage of Sunderland against Newcastle. We have live coverage of Sunderland against Newcastle on the commentary hub. A time weird derby in the third round, and comment, and I will be and on commentary for this one, and on commentary for this one, and on commentary for on commentary for this one is and on commentary for this one will be Russ Vernon. Will be Russ Vernon, and I will be Russ Vernon. I will be presenting on this one. I think Luke Turton will be on. I think Luke Turton will be on commentary. I think Luke Turton will be on commentary as well. But Maximilian now media radio and jingle says a big time with derby. Yes, quite. So we're going to take a quick break, but join us again for this. Join us again just before the second half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of Tottenham against Burnley in the FA Cup third round. The players now, the players just going through the last minutes warm, just going through their last few minutes warm up before the second half. The second half gets back underway, and I can actually see now that they are starting to take their positions on the pitch. The players at both ends have now swapped. Tottenham will be going from left to right. Burnley from right to left. The Spurs players are already out on the pitch. The Burnley lots getting ready to come out the pitch. They're getting ready to come out onto the pitch. And Luke, after that goalless first half, surely there's got to be some convincing performances in the second half that will result in goals.
Yeah, you'd hope so, Nick. I think there's just got to be a bit more relaxed when it comes to being in front of goal and not being rushed and nervous when the chances fall to them. Because I think at the minute it's far too easy for them to just snatch at chances and not really take that much care and guidance of placing the ball where they actually want it to be placed.
Yeah, that's right. And Anduni and the rest of the players doing a few last minute exercises before the second half can begin. No half-time substitutions have been made as far as I know. We'll let you know if they have. As Richarlison gets ready to restart the game for Tottenham. Does a few last minute warm-ups, blowing his hands to try and warm them up. But just as I say that, a half-time substitution is about to be made before the start of the second half. As off will come Lyle Foster, and we'll let you know very shortly who will be taking his place as the second half gets underway between Tottenham Hotspur and Burnley, and it looks like Spurs who have the initial first bit of play, as they're able to hold on to the ball. And it's Udogie passing to Vicario. Vicario passes the ball out to Emerson Royale, and I can confirm that in place of Lyle Foster came Jacob Brune Larsson. It's Oliver Skip with the ball for Spurs. Now the ball goes to I think that was Pedro Porro. Yes, indeed it was. So Porro receives the ball. It's a throw-in. And the ball now goes to Giovanni Lo Celso. Lo Celso to Porro. Now back to Lo Celso. Lo Celso crossing up the wing to Bentancur. Now Emerson Royale. It's Royale to Bentancur again. And forward cross by Royale. But that could cost them, as a Brune Larsson looked like he was going to try and get the ball off Vicario, but Spurs doing really well to hold on. Although, just as I say that, Burnley are starting to look like they might make inroads into Spurs. Although a player has been ruled offside. It's now advantage Spurs. Spurs on the attack once more. Richarlison almost received it, defended well by Burnley. Ball is now with Wilson Adobert. Adobert concedes to Fulham. Tottenham. And the ball is now with Kulusevski. It's Kulusevski! But Kulusevski hits the side netting. I think his attack was too soft.
Yeah, it was blocked twice by De Croix and Taylor there.
But just as we say that, Lo Celso went for a shot, but it was kept out magnificently by Arianet Muric.
Good save there from Muric and good movement from Lo Celso. He's been lively today, Lo Celso.
He certainly has, and one might say that he's actually been the liveliest player on the pitch this evening, as Vincent Company as ever shouting more instructions from the touchline. It will be Muric to clear the ball out of the goal for Burnley, but the ball now headed quickly up in the air. And the ball has been caught by O'Shea for Burnley, trying to play it forward to Brune Larsen, but intercepted, I should say, by Spurs. Bentancur does really well to hold on, but it's over the line. For a throw. I think a Burnley player must have gotten the last touch to it, which is why it's a Spurs throw. Ball now being thrown to Bentancur. Down the wing it goes to Emerson Royale, and it's Emerson Royale to Kulusevski. Kulusevski was aiming for Richarlison. Richarlison does get the ball eventually, but Richarlison is offside. Good call by the referee.
Yeah, but also good closing down by a few Burnley players that didn't know who was offside at the time.
Well, and that looked like almost an attack. And that looked like almost an attack by Ado, but dealt with really well by Emerson Royale. The ball has now gone as far as Dejan Kulusevski. It's Kulusevski for Tottenham. Needs to pass to someone quickly. He does, to Richarlison. Richarlison almost lost the ball, but he quickly got it back. It's now back with Kulusevski. It's Kulusevski! And over the crossbar it goes. What do Tottenham have to do to get in front of Burnley?
Keep the shots down and do a bit more better movement, because Kulusevski was so slow on that counter attack. If him and Johnson could have got a bit more of a quicker break on, they'd have got in behind Burnley there, but it was too slow.
Still 0-0 after all. Still 0-0 as we approach the 50th minute between Tottenham and Burnley. No further goals coming in between the Wolves and Brentford and Fulham Rotherham. But Kulusevski tries to go for another attack. Saved again by Muric. The ball now being rolled out towards Zeki Amdouni. It's Amdouni for Burnley. Now the ball goes as far as Wilson Adobert. It's Adobert. He needs to pass quickly to Brune Larsen. It's Cullen, but he was just wide.
With that shot from Cullen, I think it was one too far across to go for that near post. If you're going to shoot from there, you have to go across the goal.
And he didn't do that. So it'll be a free, and it's a free kick anyway to Burnley. What can they do? What can they do with this free kick? Aaron Ramsey looked like he was going to take it, but in actual fact, it's going to be Anas Zaroury. Zaroury stands over the ball. He gets ready to take the shot. It goes into the 18-yard box, saved very easily by Vicario. I think there was just too much jostling for the ball, as Kulusevski now has the ball for Tottenham. He passes to Oliver Skipp. Now it's with Bentancur. Bentancur to Destiny Udogie. Udogie, bit slow. That's it. Bit slow, and he almost paid for it. It's now Bentancur. Bentancur down the wing he goes to Kulusevski. It's Kulusevski passing quickly to Porro, but again kept out. But again kept out by Burnley. Spurs are proving to be very slow when it comes to attacking, as you said, Luke.
Yeah, the counter-attacks are so laboured and they don't seem to be able to go quickly to get in behind the Burnley line. And I think part of that is down to how strong Burnley are being when they haven't got the ball. They're keeping their shape well and proving that you can't really get through them very easily today, which is actually good to see.
It certainly is good to see from a club that is so close to the bottom of the Premier League. The ball now caught. The ball now caught by Muric, and it goes as far as Adobert. It's Adobert now for Burnley, but intercepted by Tottenham really. Intercepted by Tottenham really well. I think that might have been by Pedro Porro. And to throw the ball for Burnley is Charlie Taylor. It's Taylor to Hannes Del Croix. Now back towards Taylor. Taylor tries to hold on to the ball. Intercepted by Spurs. Good work so far by the home side. Richarlison tries to get to the ball but can't. Good block by Del Croix. And it's now Pedro Porro. And it's now Pedro Porro for Spurs. 54 minutes in. Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. But that could change as Giovanni Lo Celso passes to Udogie. Udogie couldn't see who it was, but saved once again by Muric. It was Johnson. It was Johnson who had the last touch. And Muric, once again, being as lively as ever.
Yeah, that Johnson shot was too close to Muric there. He needed to go over across the goal towards the far corner or get it to really curl towards the near corner. Just hitting it straight at Muric. He's always going to get his hands onto that.
So once again, both sides being very strong defensively. As it's Emerson Royale up the wing to I think that was Porro. Ball now goes as far as Kulusevski, I should say, and that was almost that was Porro once more. Ball deflected up by Burnley. It was quickly taken by Spurs. It's now with Kulusevski. Kulusevski inside the 18-yard box, but deflected away by Burnley. Emerson Royale to Ben Davis. Now Destiny Udogie. Udogie quickly passing the ball around. It's now with Johnson. Johnson to Richarlison, but well held by Burnley. And I think Amdouni slipped up, and which is why he gave the ball to Tottenham. Emerson Royale passing to Porro. Porro crossing into the 80-yard box through Johnson, but unlucky for Spurs not to score the opening goal that they need to advance through into the fourth round. What do you think went wrong?
Well, he hit the ball into the floor and it took all of the power out of that shot, and the bounce then went in a different direction, so where if he'd just hit it on the volley straight at the goal, he'd have probably got more of an effort on it there. But yeah, probably hard to get through those crowded bodies there.
Yes, it certainly would have been, as Kulusevski tries to get the ball back, but nothing doing. And it's Burnley who look like they're on the attack. It's the ball is now currently with Brun Larsen. Brun Larsen to Josh Cullen. Cullen passing the ball around to Ado, but the referee has called time. Has called halter proceedings, I should say. It's a free kick to Tottenham for something I did not see. Luke, any ideas what that could have been for?
Might have been offside from the player that Brun Larson played it to. Might have been just offside there.
Okay, I'm glad you spotted that because I didn't. As it's Ben Davis for Spurs, straight to Richarlison, but given away to Cullen. Retaken by Cullen, but I mean Richarlison, but Richarlison almost getting us a bit of a brawl, but he was able to calm himself down as the referee now having a bit of a word with Hannes Delcroix and Adobert looks like he's going to be substituted. Indeed, he is. And taking the captain's armband and returning after a lengthy injury spell is Jack Cork. And Spurs have also made a substitutes change in that time as well. We'll let you know who they are shortly. As Burnley are on the attack with this free kick. It's Zaruri to Charlie Taylor. Taylor under pressure from Oliver Skipp. Taylor does well to hold on, but not for long. The ball goes over the line, and Wilson Adobert has made way for Josh Brownhill. So it's Josh Brownhill who'll be taking the captain's armband. I thought it was Jack Cork, but it's Brownhill. I do apologise for getting that wrong. It's O'Shea to... and in fact, and I can tell you that Lo Celso has been substituted for Brian Gill. For Brian Gill, good move by Postecoglou.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Lo Celso is making it tick, so we'll have to see on how Brian Hill does and see if he can make the introduction worthwhile. Meantime, it looks to me as though Burnley are starting. It looks to me as though Burnley are starting to put on more of a charge. As Amdouni has been fouled, that might have been by Skipp. I'll check. That might have been by Skipp. I'll check the replay. Yes, in fact, it was Skipp. How do you see that foul? Was that cynical? I think it was just one of those fouls where he's trying to go for the ball, but he just catches a man instead. Probably nothing more than just a free kick.
Free kick by Richarlison. Free kick towards Zaruri for Burnley, and we just passed the hour mark. It's still Tottenham 0, Burnley 0, and full time. And it's full time in West London. Brentford 1, Wolves 1. So the third round game will be replayed at Molineux. And it's Zaruri for Burnley. Cullen. The ball goes up. The ball has gone over the line, and it will be a Spurs throw. As far as I can tell, it's still nil. As far as I can tell, it's also still 1-0 between Fulham and Rotherham United. Over the line goes the ball from Emerson Royale. Zaruri will take the throw. No, in fact, he won't. It'll be Charlie Taylor. So it's Taylor with the throw. Quick pass to Josh Cullen. Cullen to Hannes Delcroix. Delcroix now to Muric back to Zaruri. And Zaruri was, I think, looking for Josh Brownhill by the looks of it. But Spurs doing well to hold on. No, in fact, it was Bru Larson, as it's a free kick to Spurs. I think that was by a foul by Bru Larson. Anyway, the ball now with Spurs. It's Porro to Emerson Royale. Now the ball goes as far as Dejan Kulusevski. It's Kulusevski to Hill. Now Ben Davis. And Davis back to Kulusevski. Davis again. Down the wing to Emerson Royale. Royale quickly passing to Porro. Now back to Royale. Royale gives the ball to Johnson. Johnson couldn't find Richarlison through the gaggle of Burnley players. The ball now goes back out to Emerson Royale. The ball is now with Porro. Porro to Johnson, but the ball goes over the line. I think that was good defensive work by Vitinho.
Yeah, great defensive work by Vitinho, but also probably the touch from Brennan Johnson just wasn't quite good enough on the second attempt to shove it way too far in front of him, and he was never going to get to that because it was way too far in front of him, and even he's not going to be that quick.
Charlie Taylor on the ground. The physios are taking a look at him. He's sitting up okay, so he appears to be all right. He appears to be all right. I think he's just winded. We'll have to see whether he'll be able to carry on playing. But after 63.5 minutes, still nothing to choose between them. And with Burnley's recent surge of attack, has something got to give soon?
I think something's going to give at some point because both sides are pushing. It's just who's going to find that quality moment. And at the minute, quality in the final third is definitely lacking. But I've been impressed with Burnley's defending so far. And Spurs has a pretty okay midfield. But at the back and going forward, it's a little bit last ditch, I feel, for Spurs at the minute. And they need to calm it.
This was the foul on Charlie Taylor. Hurt shoulder by the looks of it. Do you think Do you think he should be substituted? And in fact, it looks like he will be. So that answers what I was going to ask. That answers what I was going to ask. Luke, a couple of Burnley players getting ready to be substituted. We'll let you know who they are, as it's still as the game has been restarted. It's Emerson Royale to Ben Davis, and Davis to Brian Hill. Now towards Udogie, and that was almost a shot by Johnson. Yet Richarlison went down on the ground. Very messy inside the 18-yard box by Spurs. But Burnley look like they're about to attack through Brun Larsen, yet Spurs held them firm.
That was a brilliant save from Muric on the Johnson shot. That's probably the best shot Spurs have had, to be fair. They're getting closer, Spurs, but Muric is holding them out so far.
How long he'll be able to keep holding them remains to be seen. As it's Pedro Porro to Emerson Royale to a Bentancur, given away to Burnley through Cullen. Now the ball goes back towards Tottenham and Davis. It's now with Bentancur. Passing quickly to Brennan Johnson, but saved again by Muric and Brennan Johnson understandably peeved. But could it well be he who breaks the deadlock? Who breaks the deadlock in this game? We shall see. As the aforementioned Burnley players I mentioned that will be substituted. I think three might actually be coming on, or is it two? I'll have to check. Meantime, as one of the players coming off, I can confirm is Anas Zaroury, and getting ready to take the throw. So Taylor, Zaroury, and Ramsey are off, and in their place come Amin Al Dakhil, Mike Tresor and Nathan Redmond. So it's now so the ball is still with Spurs and Brian Hill. The ball now be passed back around to Vicario. Vicario to Emerson Royale. Royale to Johnson. Johnson quickly passes to Emerson Royale. Royale looking to find an opening. Goes as far as Oliver Skip to Brennan Johnson. Johnson fouled inside the 18-yard box. Nothing worthy of a penalty. Just a free kick. Just a free kick to Spurs. How do you call this one? That was by Brownhill.
Yeah, Brownhill definitely catches Johnson. There is going to take his shot. But I think it's basically a clash of feet. I'm not really saying that it's a foul for either side. It's just a clash of feet there.
Okay, and it's not going to be a free kick as I thought. It's actually going to be a throw-in, as I think one of the players giving a bit of a talking to by the referee. Throw-in taken by Spurs towards Davis. Ball now goes to Brian Hill. Hill now to I think that was Udogie. Udogie now to Emerson Royale. Royale to Rodrigo Bentancur. Ball now being crossed forward to I think that might have been Kulusevski, but he has gone down as a result. And in fact, and yes, indeed, I can confirm it was Kulusevski. Kulusevski didn't have enough time to go around Muric.
No, I think he was a bit ambitious. The ball had already gone, and I think Muric just catches Kulusevski in the face there. But again, nothing clear cut. It's the goal kick.
Fair comment, Luke. As a Burnley look like they're going to be, as Burnley look like they're on the attack now. This could be interesting, but it's quickly halted by Pedro. Porro. I couldn't see who it was. It might well have been Al Dakhil. So anyway, it's a corner to Burnley. No, in fact, it was Tresor. Mike Tresor, the Belgium international, steps back. Gets ready to take the corner. Could Burnley turn this corner to their advantage? The answer is no. Easily saved by Vicario, and it goes this time to Richarlison. Richarlison almost fouled, but does well to hold on. The ball now being passed quickly to Udogie, and it goes over. But it goes over the line. O'Shea looking to get into his position. It's a corner to Spurs, and I think it will be Porro to take the corner. Yes, indeed it was. And the ball now goes to Udogie. Cross into the attacking area, but easily saved by Muric. Corners, free kicks, straight attacks, you name it. Neither side can convert anything.
No, usually it's going straight into the goalkeeper's hands or dealt with by the defenders so far. It's going to take something of real quality to beat one of these keepers today, I think.
Yes, and another attack by Burnley, but saved by Vicario. And just as we say that, Fulham are through into the next round against Rotherham United. It's 1-1. It's 1-0 at Craven Cottage. So at least we have one team through it. At least we have one team through into the next round. But we are still waiting for the goals to come in from our game. as Al Dakhil gets ready to take the throw for Burnley. He lines the ball up and throws. Headed away though by Bentancur to Emerson Royale. That was almost, and he was almost tackled by. I think he was just about tackled by a Brun Larson. Now the ball goes to number 20. I think that might have been by Al Dakhil. Now towards Muric to Hannes Delcroix. Now to Al Dakhil. Brownhill. So it's Brownhill to Josh Cullen. Cullen quickly passes back towards Brownhill. Brownhill to Vitinho. Vitinho under pressure from Brian Hill, but he does want to hold on. Nice pass to Dara O'Shea. O'Shea now to Nathan Redmond, I think. But it goes back. But the ball goes back towards Spurs. Now it's with Brennan Johnson. Johnson has to hold off Delcroix. Just about does it. Can he get the ball before it goes over the line? No, he can't. And I don't know what tactics Hannes Delcroix used, but it certainly works.
Yeah, the presence of Delcroix definitely confused and put off Brennan Johnson there. I think he tried to be a bit too quick with his feet, and it was just too much for him on that occasion. The ball was lost.
Al Dakhil with the throw-in, but given away to Tottenham. It's Brian Hill. Has to hold off the Burnley defenders. It now goes to Udogie. Udogie now to Bentancur. Bentancur passes to Emerson Royale. Royale now to Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro back to Royale. Now Bentancur once more. Bentancur to Davis. Davis quickly passes back to Destiny Udogie. Udogie under pressure from the Burnley camp. But Spurs doing really well, passing the ball around. But just as I say that, it's Al Dakhil with the ball for Burnley. Now passes to Brun Larson. Brun Larson back towards Al Dakhil, but Al Dakhil was fouled, and it's still nothing doing for both. It's still nothing doing for Burnley as Brian Hill passes the ball around to Oliver Skip by the looks of it. Now it's with Emerson Royale with just under 15 minutes to go until full time. It's still Tottenham 0, Burnley 0. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Luke Turton. We'd also like to thank our broadcasting partners, Focus on Football, JB Sports, and Storm FM, for allowing us to have our coverage used by them. You can also hear us on the Commentary Hub too and Twitch. As the ball now goes to Vitinho. Vitinho to Josh Cullen. Cullen now quickly passes to Mike Tresor. It's Tresor with the ball. Tresor straight to Al Dakhil, but Al Dakhil misses. And he will rue that opportunity as about to come off is Oliver Skip, and we will let you know who will be taking his place. But for Oliver Skip, his performance in this match, I feel, hasn't been much to write home about. As Vitinho gets ready to take the goal kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Ball now goes to Pedro Porro, but given away to Burnley and Josh Cullen. And I can tell you that Oliver Skip has made way for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Denmark international. and it'll be a free kick to Burnley to be taken by Brownhill. Brownhill stands over the ball. Kicks it straight towards I couldn't see who. It might well have been Redmond, but now the ball goes as far as Mike Cressor, but defended by Spurs. Spurs take the ball back though, and it's with Dejan Kulusevski. Kulusevski crossing towards Richarlison. And down goes Brennan Johnson. Spurs look like they're appealing for a penalty, but nothing doing. So play still goes on. Porro with the ball for Spurs. What was it? Yes, it was. Tottenham Hotspur taking the lead at long last. We have a goal in our featured match on the commentary hub. We didn't get one yesterday, but we have one now. And Pedro Porro, he just came out of nowhere, and he was in the right place at the right time, and Tottenham lead by a goal to nil.
That was a mistake from Muric throwing the ball out, and then there's a spectacular strike from Pedro Porro from one corner box to the opposite corner of the goal. It swerved in the process and beat Aro Muric, all ends up. And that is what I was saying. It was going to take something of pure quality or spectacularness, and that was hit superbly into that far top corner from Pedro Porro.
With the time that we've got left, do you think Burnley have got a chance to add an equaliser?
Well, it'll have to be quick. There's about 10 minutes left.
They've certainly got to be. It's now with Delcroix to Josh Cullen, and Cullen passing up the wing to Vitinho to Redmond. Now back towards Vitinho. Vitinho loses the ball to Tottenham though. Brian Hill to Bentancur. Bentancur tries to go for Hill, but he almost conceded to Burnley, and I think that was a foul on Vitinho. So free kick awarded straight away to Burnley. With 10 minutes to go, it's now Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. And the ball now being passed around to Hannes Delcroix. Delcroix to O'Shea. O'Shea. The ball now goes into the 18-yard box, almost picked up, but it was easily saved by Vicario. Burnley were nowhere near. And the ball now being rolled out back towards Spurs. It's Ben Davis. Pass to Brian Hill, but nowhere near. Throwing again to Spurs. I think someone from Burnley might have gotten a touch from the ball. Might have touched the ball to go over the line, which is why Spurs have to throw. Ball now being passed around, and it is currently with Emerson Royale, and now Brennan Johnson with the ball for Tottenham. He quickly passes to Pedro Porro. Now it's with Emerson Royale. Royale passes back to Johnson. Now towards Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and across by Højbjerg to Brian Hill, who gives it away to Nathan Redmond. Redmond to Brun Larsen. Now back towards Redmond. Redmond passing the ball around. It's now with Delcroix. Delcroix does well to hold on. Tries to part. Does across to Redmond, but it's a. Does across to Redmond, but it's a. Does across to Redmond, but it's over the line. Al Dakhil trying to wonder what was happening. This was the early give. This was the giveaway by Muric, which resulted in the Pedro Porro goal. And like you said, Luke, that was a very poor and like you say, Luke, that was a very poor giveaway by Muric.
Yeah, it was a poor giveaway by Muric, and he just needed to take more time on it because he's been solid since before that. To be fair, all game he's been catching the ball, he's been giving the ball out well, and then it was just a one chance where he threw it out and it was intercepted, and Pedro Porro stuck it into the net. So I suppose that's the difference with a top keeper and a keeper that's just probably going to be around the bottom of the table.
So two Tottenham Hotspur substitutes have been made. One of the players coming off was Rodrigo Bentancur. I think Ryan Sessegnon is on the pitch for Spurs. We'll let you know who the others are. And in fact, Richarlison and Johnson and Bentancur have come off. So Dane Scarlett and Jamie Donnelly have come on. Both players with very limited Premier League experience. Possibly young talent that could well be the leading lights in years to come. Who knows? As the ball now being passed around to Al Dakhil. It's Al Dakhil for Burnley. Now Hannes Delcroix. We're about 6 minutes away from full time. It's still Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. Now being passed around to Muric. It's Delcroix to Al Dakhil. Al Dakhil with the ball for the Clarets. A swift pass to Delcroix. Now back to Muric. And Muric crossing the ball forward to Al Dakhil. Was that Vitinho? No, it was Vitinho. And throw in to Tottenham. That was by Udogie. Udogie to Emil. Udogie to Højbjerg. Now back to Udogie. Now back to Udogie. Udogie gets ready to throw. Which it does, but it goes as far as Cullen. Cullen for Burnley, almost lost it, but he did well to hold on. Now it's Nathan Redmond. Redmond to I think that was Al Dakhil, but given away to Tottenham. It was I think that was Donnelly with the ball. It's Donnelly to Brian Hill. Brian Hill now to, I couldn't see who it was, but in fact it was Ryan Sessegnon. But Sessegnon, the substitute, almost looked like he almost made it too, but either it was well defended by Burnley or the ball just whistled past their bodies. Anyway, corner to Spurs by Brian Hill. It was a straight pass to Kulusevski. Kulusevski to Højbjerg. Now Brian Hill, and saved again by Ariane Muric. With time running out, Luke, do you think one goal will be enough for Tottenham?
Yeah, I think the one goal will definitely be enough for Spurs. Plus Burnley have wilted after they've conceded that goal.
It appears they certainly have. Whatever flames of hope in this match Burnley have left, they are slowly dying out. And Tottenham are just doing all they can to keep them at bay. Corner to Tottenham. And it's now with Ben Davies by the looks of it. Davies passes down the wing to Emerson Royale, but headed away by Burnley, and a player's gone down because of it. I think that might have been through a collision with Brian. I think that might have been through a collision with Brian Hill, although I am not too sure. 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes to go. Plus 2.5 minutes to go. Plus whatever stoppage time. Plus whatever stoppage time there will be, and it's Josh Cullen for Burnley, but given away back to Spurs, and it's now with Jamie Donnelly to I think that was Vicario. Yes, it was Vicario to Emerson Royale. Now Pedro Porro, but Porro I think fouled someone. But just as I say that, Burnley look like they're about to make a bit of a resurgence and head for an equaliser, which I thought was surely too late. But Brownhill's effort was almost convincing.
Yeah, it was almost convincing, but it kind of went past the post and wasn't really on target. So if Burnley wants to get in this game, they're going to have to try a little bit better.
They're going to have to do more than that, because time is running out, and Spurs are just doing what they can to just keep holding them off. Zeki Amdouni looked like he was the closest for Burnley, as Hannes Zolkra passes to Muric. We're gonna have to ask Luke who his player of the match will be in around. We're gonna have to ask Luke who our player of the match will be in around a minute's time. That depends on how many minutes will be added on. As it's Scarlett passing to Royale. Now towards Emile Højbjerg, but over the line it goes from Sessegnon, and Vitinho now throws the ball towards Hannes Dolkra. That was almost right behind was Dejan Kulusevski. It's now with Nathan Redmond. Redmond passes to Muric. Now the ball has gone to Hannes Dolkra, and 7 minutes have been added on. And while Luke decides who his player of the match should be, a Tottenham Hotspur player has rolled over the line, and that looks pretty bad indeed. It's Pedro Porro. It's Pedro Porro, the goal scorer. Goodness me, he just got pushed over by Mike Tresor. I think that was accidental, because Tresor went to check on him, and that was good sportsmanship, by the way. But Pedro Porro. But the good news is for Pedro Porro, he is able to keep it. He is able to get back up on his feet and keep going. But that will do little to affect performance. And Burnley, they need to make those 7 minutes count. We've almost about lost Luke momentarily, but we should have him back, and he has decided who his player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, is. Luke, who is it?
I've gone for the goal scorer, Pedro Porro. He's looked effective all game today, and yeah, that goal was absolutely spectacular. It needed something from somebody of his quality, so yes, I've gone for Pedro Porro.
So well done to him. Mike Tresor for Burnley. The ball now goes to Vitinho for the Clarets. and it sails over the bar. Are Burnley slowly but surely starting to get back into this?
Well, they're having chances, Nick, but I think the trouble is it's still not of any great quality. And like I was saying before the goal, if they're going to score, they're going to have to do something of exceptional quality to beat the Spurs team at the back. And currently, they just don't seem to have it.
Well, they've certainly proven to be a lot stronger in the FA Cup than they have been in the Premier League all season, as of the throw-in taken by Spurs goes to waste, and it's given Burnley a corner to be taken by Tresor. Tresor takes a couple of steps back. He raises his arm, and in goes the ball into the 18-yard box. Kept out by Spurs, but not for long. Cullen with the ball. Cullen for Burnley. He quickly passes to Brownhill, and Brownhill crossing the ball forward, but intercepted by Spurs. We now have less than 4 minutes of the injury time left. Although he might go slightly over, given the yellow foul that happened between Pedro Porro and Tresor. Free kick to Tottenham Hotspur, and it will be Emerson Royale that will take the free kick. Not being played around. It's with Kulusevski. Kulusevski to Brian Hill. Brian Hill passes to Pedro Porro, but given away to Nathan Redmond. It's Redmond to Brune Larson, but well held by Tottenham. I think that might have been. I think that might have been by Højbjerg. I couldn't really tell. But for Burnley, it's just for Burnley. They had to grab they just had to grab a consolation goal, and fast, if they are to take this game. If they are to stay in contention in order to take this game to a replay at Turf Moor, which, as the clock ticks down, is looking increasingly unlikely. As Emerson Royale crosses up the wing to Pedro Porro by the looks of it, or was it Porro to Royale? I think that might be the other way around. Anyway, Muric with the ball just outside the Burnley goal. They now have it. Burnley should consider throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this. And caught by Al-Dakhil was Pedro Porro. It's a throw in. It's a throw into Burnley. Ball is now with Kulusevski for Spurs. I think he did well to intercept that one, and the ball now goes as far as Emerson Royale, but now given to Donnelly, and the foul on Vitinho. That was by Emerson Royale, and Vitinho clutching the back of his head. That looks painful.
It does look painful. I think he was clashed with Sessegnon there.
Okay, so it was Brian Sessegnon he clashed with, but with around 30 seconds to go or something. That was a late surge by Burnley. This could well be their last. This could well have been their last chance. But just as I say that, it's a corner for the Clarets. They have to make those last 20 or so seconds count to get that corner in. It'll be Nathan Redmond to take the corner for the Clarets, and because of this, we are going to go slightly over time. And in fact, it's not going to be Redmond. It's Brownhill. It's Brownhill that will take the corner. Brownhill hits the ball into the 18-yard box. Almost taken in by Ariane Muric. What a stop! What a finish that would have been by the Burnley stopper, but it was all in vain.
Yeah, Muric tried to head that on, and Dooney tried to steer it towards goal, but nothing doing. It was just past the post. It was very close, but not close enough.
And that is it. It's game over It's game over for Burnley. They are out. Tottenham Hotspur through to the 4th round, and before the final whistle went, we have just witnessed a what if moment. What if Muric had grabbed a last-minute equaliser, but it doesn't matter. Full time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. And Luke, would you say the first half was more entertaining than the first?
Yeah, the second half was definitely more entertaining than the first half. I think both halves were decent in the sense this was a battle, and you never really knew who was going to score in this game because both sides were having chances but just weren't on target. But in the end, it was won by a spectacular shot from Pedro Porro.
So Tottenham Hotspur deserved winners, and a last minute and a last quote from Russ. Great work, chaps, especially in the second half. Thank you very much indeed. And before we go, just got time to plug our game for tomorrow. It is Sunderland against Newcastle tomorrow afternoon at 12:35. I will be presenting that one with Russ Vernon on commentary. Luke Turson will be there. Luke will also be there in some capacity or other. I think he'll be the pundit in the studio, but we'll just await.
I'm CoCom, Nick.
Okay, CoCom. So I've been corrected on that one. Thank you very much. And so thank you to everyone who's tuned in to this game. We're sorry we couldn't get you more goals, but it was the goal from Tottenham that counted, and they are through to the next round. It's actually going to be Paul James that will be the pundit in the studio. Thanks very much to Russ for that last minute correction. So once again, thank you to everyone who's been tuning in, and thank you to Luke for being my extra eyes and ears. And thank you to Luke for being my extra eyes and ears. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.